Hey guys, Sean with Long Honeymoon here. Today, we are taking a look at a good old-fashioned, politically incorrect fossil fuel burning generator, the Max Speeding Rods MXR 4000 GT. Not sure what GT stands for. Maybe it's Gran Turismo, because this generator does have a bit of a NASCAR paint scheme going on. By the way, this video has not been sponsored. No money has changed hands. There will be affiliate links beneath the video, which will take you to the relevant Amazon pages. And if you do make a purchase through those links, we would receive a small commission. But rest assured, I will be as broke as usual.
And now, the ceremonial first crack.
Now, this generator is produced by the company Max Speeding Rods. What is a Speeding rod? I'm not sure I want to know. This generator has a number of surprisingly advanced features. It is a 3,000 watt class unit that actually delivers up to 4,000 starting watts when running on gasoline. This is a dual fuel generator. So for those of you out there who prefer getting your electricity from propano, you can hook it up to propane and it will deliver 3,000 running watts from propane, 3,600 starting watts. So you should have no trouble firing up at least one RV air conditioner with this unit and powering it for quite a while. But this same company, Max Speeding Rods, produces an extended runtime fuel unit. It's a special fuel pump that will allow you to hook up a large source of gasoline to the unit so you can get a really extended runtime with it quite easily. Here is the original box for the MXR 4000 GT. Unboxing and setting up this unit is fairly straightforward. Now, Max Speeding Rods actually includes just about everything you need, including a nice toolkit and some various electrical adapters, a well-written product manual, but there is no oil inside the unit or inside the box. So you need to bring your own motor oil to this party. Before you do anything with this unit, make sure that you add motor oil, or else your generator is going to live as long as the average fruit fly. Also, one unique twist to the setup of this generator, it ships with a battery pre-installed. The battery is disconnected from the factory, so you're going to have to reconnect those battery cables when you're setting up the unit. It's very easy to do, and I do like that the battery has a quick disconnect, because when you put the unit in storage, you can go ahead and disconnect the battery. This is the engine access panel. You can easily remove this panel using a Phillips head screwdriver. It is held in place by 2 screws and a couple of tabs on the bottom. So you just need to undo these screws, pop the panel out, and you can add motor oil and connect the battery. On the top of the unit, there is a spark plug access panel. Of course, the spark plug is pre-installed, but when you're tuning the unit down the road, you can easily access the spark plug right there. So let's start out by coming in a little closer, and we're going to take a detailed look at the face of the unit. This is the main control panel. On the upper right is a fuel source selection switch. So you can rotate your fuel source from propane to gasoline as you see fit. And if you're using propane, right beneath that fuel source switch, you'll find the propane inlet. And yes, the company does include the necessary hose so you can connect the generator to your propane fuel source. There are really only 3 power outlets. On the right, you've got a 20 amp outlet. To the left of the 20 amp outlet, you will find a circuit breaker, 20 amp circuit breaker. And you'll notice that a lot of these buttons and switches are weather protected, but if you ever overload your 20 amp outlet, you can reset it by pushing that circuit breaker. In the middle, you have a locking 30 amp. So this outlet is not RV ready. You will need to use an adapter to connect it directly to your RV, and Max Speeding Rods does include the adapter. pop in the locking adapter and you can plug your RV up there. On the lower left of the face of the unit, you'll find the place where you can attach a grounding cable. Of course, the company recommends that you use a grounding cable anytime you're using the unit. Every generator manufacturer makes that recommendation. I've never seen a single person ever using the grounding point, but you probably should be using it. But no one does, but you should. I recommend you do it, even though I know you won't. So you've got your 20 amp, your 30 amp, and on the left, where you might think a old-fashioned cigarette lighter would be hiding, are some USB outlets, an old school USB and a USB-C. And that's it for the outlets. Beneath the USB outlet, you have parallel ports. A parallel cable is included, so you can run two of these units in parallel. And on the left is the main switch. Yes, this generator features an electric start, which is pretty unusual in one of these sort of suitcase style generators. And if you want, you can easily start and stop the unit by simply pressing this button. Warning, do not do this indoors unless you are a trained professional. Running a generator indoors will kill you in minutes. So, in the interest of living a little longer, I'll turn off the generator. But you can see how easy it is to start. Even though there is an old-fashioned lawnmower style recoil start included with the unit, there is also that wonderful electric starter, which works remotely. And start it up. There we go. More on that in just a minute. Above the push button start, you will find the so-called digital display center. On the right, you'll find a fuel gauge. Next to the fuel gauge, there's a reset switch. If you ever overload the generator, you can tap that reset switch and it will basically reboot. There is a low idle button. What this does is basically put the unit into an economy mode. And it will throttle down and use less fuel. And you can see there are some rotating pieces of data in this little Reagan era digital display. And probably the most interesting piece of data here is a runtime meter. This unit has a built-in hour meter. At the very top, there is a little lamp that when the unit's running, you can have a light going here, like so. More light is always welcome at a campsite, isn't it? You might look at this and think that's about it. Well, there's one other little important bit of data on here, and it has to do with Bluetooth. This unit has a companion app that you can download onto your phone, and overall, the app is pretty great. It has all of that information that you find in the digital display center displayed right on your phone. And from the app, when connected with Bluetooth, you can start and stop the unit. You can put it in economy mode or turn off economy mode, and you can access all of that important data, including the hour meter, not only the current runtime, but also the long-term runtime. I personally love a remote electric start and stop. I find it to be an incredible convenience. It is such a luxury not to have to put on your boots and your bathrobe and walk outside to do so. So overall, I really love the remote electric start. So this is the companion Bluetooth app, which by the way is a free download, And I can only speak to the Apple or iOS side of things, but the app has some great features. It has your generator serial number down at the bottom, and you can start the units remotely using the app. And it works pretty great. And you can see the app even shows the percentage of fuel remaining in the unit, and it shows the voltage and frequency that's being produced by the unit, and it's got a single runtime and a total runtime meter. Most of the times I've gone to use the app, it is connected and synced up right away with no problems. On my Bluetooth settings, there's something called common. I don't know why it doesn't say MXR 4000 GT. It is what it is. So on my phone, it appears as common. There's nothing common about this app. One very important feature that I need to tell you about here in the upper middle of the unit is the carbon monoxide alert. There is a carbon monoxide meter inside the unit. The sensor will detect an excess of carbon monoxide and automatically shut the unit down if there are dangerous levels detected. So it's an automatic safety feature that is built into the unit. All right, now we're going to quickly look at the other exterior panels on the unit. On this side, you will find a good old-fashioned lawnmower style recoil start that could be quite useful if your battery happens to run down. Now, the battery is automatically recharged anytime the unit is running. It's time to do the lawnmower. First pull. Yeah, it was easy. And on the upper right, you will see the fuel switch, which has two settings, off and on. The word on is printed on here twice. I think what they're basically saying is anywhere in this range is on. I actually asked the company about this just to make sure this didn't have anything to do with the dual fuel capability. It does not. These are the same. So off, on, even more on. And by the way, as is my tradition here, I did mostly de-sticker this unit, but the graphics on the side are not a sticker. These are hard printed onto the side of the unit. So I hope you like that sort of race car theme. On the back of the unit, not a lot to say about this. There is the so-called spark arrestor, and this is where the heat will be produced coming out of that exhaust. I would simply point out all of these portable inverter generators do kick out quite a bit of heat on the exhaust side of things, and that's where the noise comes out as well. But if you are running these units in the bed of a pickup truck, which you're not supposed to do, but if you are, you need to make sure that heat is flowing out in a safe direction, because you can very easily set something on fire with the heat coming off any portable inverter generator. This unit has, I believe, a 1.1 gallon fuel tank, and you can pour gasoline right into the top. And as I mentioned earlier, the company actually makes a fairly inexpensive fuel pump that allows you to connect this unit to a large source of gasoline fuel. One nice thing about having this manual fuel switch is that you can rotate it to off with the generator still running to burn up any excess gasoline that's in the carburetor. And if you're about to put the unit into some kind of longer term storage, I would recommend that you do that. Burn out all the fuel that you can. All right, so as you can see, the generator is light enough that it can be toted around, weighs about 53 pounds. And as is a long-running tradition here on Long Honeymoon, we have to put it through the tonneau cover test. We wouldn't travel with an inverter generator that would not fit beneath our tonneau cover. And frankly, I think you can see where this is going. This generator easily passes the tonneau cover test. All right, testing the MXR 4000 GT. This generator not only passes the tonneau cover test, it passes the trunk test. So when your truck is in the shop getting new glow plugs, you can break out your vintage 1990s BMW sedan and grab the suitcase style generator right out of your trunk. The portability of these small size units is really a great advantage. It's light enough at 53 pounds that a grown man can tote it around for a brief period of time. You guys will be happy to know we have chosen perhaps the hottest day of the year to conduct this particular test, and I am sweating my buns off out here. Can I say buns on the interwebs? So I'm going to first start up the generator. Our fuel source is set to gasolina, and I flip on the main switch, and with a simple press of the start button, we should have power. The generator fires right up, and I'm going to make sure low idle mode is turned off before I plug up our RV. And we're going to plug our 30 amp RV plug right into the 30 amp adapter, which was included with this generator. Let's step into our heated tin can. All right, we've got a couple things going on here. First of all, we have certain technology pre-installed in our Airstream travel trailer. For example, a start device is hardwired into our air conditioning unit that reduces the amount of electricity it will require to start. So you just need to know that up front. Secondly, we have this Victron energy display that's tied into our lithium phosphate batteries and solar panels and all that good stuff. And it provides a lot of really useful information. For example, our little generator outside is currently delivering more than 2,300 watts of shore power to our Airstream travel trailer. Currently, about 365 watts of AC electricity are being consumed by our trailer. I'll bet that our refrigerator is pulling some of that AC. So that's what's happening here. And we do not currently have the air conditioner turned on. I'm about to turn on the AC, and we are going to see how our little generator handles the inductive load when the AC kicks on and fires up the compressor. And it cannot happen soon enough for me because I am roasting inside this travel trailer. It has happened. Our compressor in the air conditioning unit has kicked on. And yes, I can feel this air. It is cold air coming out of the air conditioner right now. Let's discuss the elephant in the room, noise. I found that the generator does meet the manufacturer's stated claims of a noise output between 58 and 59 decibels, measured at a distance of 25 feet, with the generator running in economy mode. There we go. With that said, the noise output does ramp up quite a bit when the generator is placed under load. And it seems to max out at around 66 to 67 decibels of noise. Whether that's acceptable for you is a personal decision. We typically will be using this generator in parking lot situations, rest areas, and when boondocking out all by ourselves. So for us, this noise output is acceptable. Whether it's acceptable for you is a personal decision, but I definitely find this portable inverter generator much, much, much preferable to any open frame generator out there. Are there more quiet generators available on the market? Yes, but not in this form factor offering this feature set. So believe it or not, we may actually be taking this unit with us on the road this year because overall, I'm very impressed with it. It does everything we need it to do. It will easily power our air conditioner. Do I wish that it was a little bit more quiet? Yes, yes I do. I also wish that I was a little bit better looking, a little bit more wealthy, but Sometimes you just gotta live with what you got. What about you guys? Do you own a Max Peating Rods portable inverter generator? If you do, how's your experience been with it? How's your experience been dealing with the company if you've had to deal with the company? What do you think about this unit? Do you happen to own it? If so, chime in, post a comment, share your experience with our community. Until next time, this has been yet another video on Long Honeymoon, the longest running RV show in the interwebs, where we have a long tradition of portable inverter generator reviews. Please, if you have not already done so, subscribe to our channel. Big shout out and tip of the hat and thank you to all of our longtime subscribers here on Long Honeymoon. We appreciate all of you so much. And as previously mentioned, there will be some affiliate links beneath this video if you're interested in learning more about these units and reading more reviews. Clicking our affiliate links will help to support our show. Until next time, I'm Sean. This is Long Honeymoon, where we say lo-lo-ho. Actually, if you take a look here, you can see the carbon monoxide alert is flashing. So that's because a couple of idiots are running the unit indoors in an enclosed garage. Don't do this at home, kids. We're trained professionals here.
Well, there's a man named Sean with an RV life, rolling around the country with his gear and his wife. He found a little powerhouse, 53 pounds light. The MXR 4 yeah, it treats him right. It's got dual fuel power, gas or propane. Keeps the fridge cold even when it rains. It'll run that AC or smoke or grill. When Sean fires it up, you know it's got the thrill. Oh, Max Peating Rods, you're my campfire friend. When the sun goes down, you just keep on again. From the mountains high to the ocean sand, I got my MXR 4 falling right here in my hand. It passes my tonneau cover test with pride. Slides right under in the truck bed ride. An electric start that's smooth like silk. Don't need to yank a cord, just press and chill. Got a Bluetooth app that's kinda neat. From my camp chair seat, I can start a beat. Sure, the range gets funny if I'm far away, but it's still pretty slick for an RV day. Oh, Max Peating Rods, you're my campfire friend. When the sun goes down, you just keep on again. From the mountains high to the ocean sand, I got my MXR 4000 right here in my hand. It's 58 decibels in eco mode. Not library quiet, but still pretty low. Better than those loud open frame beasts. This one hums along while we feast. Accessories, yeah, they thought them through. RV plug, dust cover, spark tool too. 2-year warranty, starts up fine. For a happy camper, that's peace of mind. Oh, Max Peating Rods, you're my campfire friend. When the coffee pot's on, you help me pretend that I'm living the dream across this land with my MXR 4000 right here in my hand. Now, if my neighbor had one of these, yeah, I'd be just fine.